Beyond the dance to the podcast land. Beyond the beat. Beyond the BeatZ TOGETHER. Beyond the beat. Beyond the BeatZ
Welcome to Beyond the BeatZ, the stage where music moves us, dance free us, and every beat tells a story. I'm Carla, your host, curator of rhythm, and your guide through the sounds and steps that make us feel alive. This is more than a show, it's a celebration of music, movement, and the people who bring them to life. DJs, choreographers, dancers, producers, teachers, and everyone who finds themselves when the beats drop. Each week, I will spotlight fresh music, remix culture, choreo tips, behind the scenes stories, and the artists who shape the dance floor. Whether you're freestyling in your living room, rehearsing from a stage, or crafting a playlist that moves the room, this space is for you. Grab your water, find your space, and let's move beyond the beats. Tonight, I have a special guest, Maurice Danell Reese Clark. He is a true multi hyphenate talent whose impact spans film, theater, choreography, and the world of dance fitness. Danell Reese, known to many, and he is an award winning actor, producer, director, choreographer, and passionate autism advocate. Born in Hartford and raised in Springfield, he began dancing professionally at just 13 and was choreographing by 16, setting the tone for a career defined by creativity and drive. In the fitness world, Danell launched his journey in 2008 and became a licensed Zumba instructor in 2011. His classes are known for their edge, innovation, diversity, and explosive energy. He is the creator of Insubordination, the premier dance fitness group that became Six Flags New England's first ever official external dance party crew. His leadership and artistry also shaped the early years of World of Dance, where he served as a founding member, organizer, and author. His performance career is just as impressive. Maurice has appeared on MTV, OWN, NBC, Fox, and multiple film projects, with five movies currently streaming on Amazon Prime and Tubi, and his newest film, Dark Places, set to release next month. He is also a proud member of the Choreographers Guild of America and a former member of the All In Worldwide Intensive Dance Team. A powerhouse on stage, on screen, and in the studio, he brings authenticity, artistry, and advocacy for everything he touches. Please welcome the incomparable Maurice Danell Clark. How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right. That was wow. That was excellent. Whoever wrote that, you got to give them a raise because that was that was very good. That was very good.
I write my
I
own
like
stuff, so
that. You got to pay us. We're going to
so
pay yourself
thank
for it. We're going to get you a GoFundMe or something. Give you some more money. That was excellent. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you are here tonight, Danelle. I'm so excited to talk about your journey. And I've known you for a while right now, but not
Yes.
everybody knows who is Danelle Reese. So let's start with what's the earliest memory you have of knowing dance was your thing?
Wow. The earliest memory probably goes back to when my mother nicknamed me Reese. And I came from a particular era where you would be waking up in the middle of the night, like you have this good sleep going on, and your family has this little party going on in the living room, it'll be 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And next thing you know, you get a nudge in your chest, or somebody's shaking you, waking you up, and you're 5, 6 years old in your underwear. And you're coming out to the living room, and they say, "Do that little Michael Jackson dance that you do all the time." That's my probably my earliest memory. And
Oh my
you got
God.
you got stuff in your eyes, and you're wiping the stuff out your eyes, and you still got to find a way to moonwalk across the carpet. And yeah, so I think
I
that's where it
love
kind of,
that. I
yeah,
love
oh god,
that.
I laugh at it now, but I hated it then. And I'm sure so
Oh
many
my
people
God.
can relate to that.
So
Um,
you started
excuse me.
dancing professionally at 13. What did
Yes.
that moment feel like for you?
It was interesting because I kind of got, I don't want to say thrown, but I kind of got thrusted into it. I had always danced in, I guess you could say, street dance. I was always dancing in like the street with my friends and things like that.
Yes.
And I started taking professional classes right at the early age of 13. And I was probably in a dance class for more than, well, sorry, for just about 2 or 3 months. And right at right when I started, there was an up and coming artist. And I'll be honest, I'm sorry, I'm a little foggy. I totally forgot the name. It's not anyone. No offense, but it's not anyone that's like really doing a lot now. But they were on the come up, and they needed a dancer. And so my first real dance performance was at a major theater, and I was green. I was green as grass, completely wet behind the ears, if you will. And but I like to credit that as my first ever performance. I got paid, so for me,
Nice.
that's how I consider I was a professional dancer then. And then from there, I just kind of took off. I like to say I took dance a little seriously. I did the best I could, learning from different people. I've danced with different schools up and along the way up until I got older, and I linked with a good friend of mine, rest in peace, very late, very great, Adolfo Quinones, also known as Shabadoo, also known as Ozone from the movie Breaking, the old
Oh,
school dance movies. And so I think and at that moment, that's when things really started to take a huge turn for me, I think.
wow, that's amazing. I didn't know you knew Ozone. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, we had a very very fun relationship. I like to think. I
Yeah,
mean, he was
that's really
definitely
good.
he was definitely a father figure for me in the industry. I
Wow.
mean, salute to my real
Yes,
father,
of
but
course.
he was very much a father figure for me in the industry. We've had our ups and we've had our downs, like any real relationship. But I think when push came to shove, there was a lot of love there, and just him sewing. Goodness, almost
He
almost
saw what you were
almost
at.
20 years into my life. I'm sorry.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
he sold it almost nearly 20 years into my life and career. So I definitely attribute him for a lot of the turn that I've
Yeah.
been taking since then. Yeah.
So tell me, you started at 13 and you started after 3 years choreographing,
Uh,
you like everything. So how did this happen and how this shaped your artistic identity?
my first choreographed experience was, like I said, 16, and it was during the era around the time of the Million Man March. All right, and that's important because where I choreographed was a huge event in Springfield where they were featuring some artists, and we were performing with who was it was DJ Cool, Dougie Fresh, like all those people was kind of they were performing at the Springfield Civic Center, and so that was my first real experience where I choreographed something, and so we performed on the big arena on the big stage. So that was pretty cool. And again, it's one of those things you kind of thrust it into, right? I didn't necessarily. I wasn't looking for it. I was looking just to go to the show. I had like tickets and everything. And the next thing you know, I get the proverbial call and says, "Hey, listen, so we need some choreographers. We want you." And I'm like, okay, I don't know why, but okay, sure. And but yeah, it was right then and there. I did a piece literally within a week of the actual performance, and
Wow.
just got a group of guys, a group of girls together, and we did a few routines to that particular show. And yeah, it was really good. And the reason I bring up the Million Man March is because we was actually streaming. They were streaming from Washington and connecting it into the event that was happening into the Springfield Civic Center. And so that was a pretty cool experience just to be part of that moment in history.
Do you have like still have some pictures or videos like you can share at some
I
point?
wish,
I
I
know.
wish, I wish. In hindsight, knowing what I know now,
Yes,
I wish I could have gone back, because in that time I was not particularly thinking record, document. It was
I
more
agree.
about it was more about being in the moment. Like, we wasn't, social media and stuff didn't really exist back then. We had, the most we had was the AOL chat line, right?
Yes,
So the
yes,
thing
I
always
agree with
running,
you.
and it took forever to load. But so yeah, and then I wasn't, back then I wasn't thinking document. I wasn't thinking film. I wasn't thinking record this and watch it later. I was thinking, oh my God, I can't wait to do this now, right? And talk about it later. And so I think some of my, unfortunately, some of my biggest moments growing up in how many years ago, I'm not gonna say how long ago it was. I think I kind of spoiled it
Yeah.
already. But yeah, they, unfortunately, they remain undocumented. There's some videos out there, but they're more like in raw form. Like, somebody might have a videotape somewhere, and they may have pictures, but we're probably not going to find too many of them online. Although I did find a high school performance, a very
No.
shameful high
Oh
school
no, it's not
performance.
shameful.
Yeah, very shameful talent show performance with me and my friends. I don't know if y'all remember the
Oh my
oh my
God.
God, what was the
Don't
name
get
of
me
it? Was it?
started on my talent show.
Yeah, we were gyrating on the floor, and it was just one of those things. We went from popping and locking. Next thing you know, we're rolling around on the floor, and for some reason back in high school we loved that. So
I
I
know.
don't know. Very
I
awful
remember
performance.
myself in like a blue suit and my underwear over my and it was yellow. I was doing dancing. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on that.
Oh no, the thing, like, yeah,
It's
I go back,
crazy.
and the things some of the things I am able to find, like that specific performance, or when I was actually captain of the step team in my school. So when I go back and I
Yeah,
watch some of those performances, and I just cringe,
I
like,
know.
wow, like that kid can move, but why are you doing that? Like, grow up.
But I
There's,
mean,
the ground
we
does
used
not
to
deserve
think that
that.
we
Like,
have it all, in high school. Like, look at us,
uh,
whatever.
yeah, back then we just knew we was the sugar honey iced tea, right? And we're just like,
Yes,
and now I'm looking at it, like, now I'm like, come on, dude, come on, you should have been suspended for stuff like that you were doing. Like,
I
oh,
love it. But
yeah, but yeah,
I still
definitely
love these
memories.
moments. These moments made the people who we are right now. They shape who
Absolutely,
we are.
absolutely,
What
absolutely.
what's what's a misconception people have about like choreographers and people who put themselves out there, especially that you were that person?
Wow, that's a very loaded question. The misconceptions. I mean, I think there's so many. Misconception is that anyone can do it.
Yeah.
I think a misconception is that when I talk about with anyone can do it, they sometimes we think like, oh, you can dance real well, you should be able to teach.
No.
No. Or you can choreograph something, you should teach this class. No. It's just, it's so many, like, so many layers. I feel like there are some people who have jumped into, they want to jump into the front, and
Yes.
it's no shade or no disrespect to them, but sometimes we have to allow ourselves to be students first.
Agree.
One thing, yeah, one area in my life, I felt like I got to a point where I was choreographing so much that I decided to teach classes. And honestly, my early years of teaching, I felt like I was great. I wasn't that great, and so I go back and look at like that. I wasn't that great, and I felt like I should have been a student a little longer.
We all learn. Yeah, we all learn.
Yeah, and so I think that's something that we should probably think about sometimes is, take more time. Even now, even after, however how many years I've been doing this, I feel like I'm still a student. I still want to take the time
Yes.
to learn, go back to classes, and
That's
um,
important though.
yeah, yeah, you have to, because I mean times are evolving, and we can't always do the old way of doing
Yes.
things and expect it. We have to, in so many ways, like, you want to be true to yourself, but you still
Yes.
also want to keep up with the times. You don't want to become, if you want to, refresh yourself all the time. You want to constantly
True.
reinvent yourself. And I think another misconception is that because you have a name, so to speak, that your name should be enough. And that's where I think people stop working. We stop working. So I feel like, oh, people know me, so I don't need to learn anymore. I don't need to do anymore. I can just rely on everything I've been doing, and it'll be enough. We have to constantly stay up to date. We have to constantly keep up with new information. Also, if I could do just, I think, one more piece
Of
of
course.
misconceptions, I think, is and I'm trying to find a very diplomatic way to say this because I don't want to. I promise I'm not out to offend ever, but I definitely want to be real about it.
No, of
Is
course.
we
This
have
is
we
your show, so
no,
please.
this is, I appreciate it. This is your show. I'm a
Yeah.
squirrel in a tree, but I appreciate it. But I feel like we have to allow ourselves, even with what we're doing, we have to allow ourselves at some point to step back and
Thank you.
remember, yeah, remember that I'm a spoke in the wheel, right? The wheel's going to keep turning. There were people
Yes,
before me, and there's going to be people after me. So um, a,
100%.
a few years ago at Keisha Snell's, one of Keisha Snell's and Zumbaversary. Shout out to Keisha, that's my sis. Love you.
Keisha,
Um,
I love her too.
Shouting her out. I did something very specific, and I want to say that I got a little criticism for it, but I don't think people understand what I was doing. I took off my shoes and I left them on the floor, and it wasn't for dramatic art. I promise. Maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit dramatic art,
Maybe.
but maybe a little bit. But the message I was trying to say was like, this is going to keep going.
Yeah.
And I was doing that event for a long time with her, and and in other events as well. And I felt like I'm good now. And it had nothing to do with me. It wasn't that I didn't want to do it anymore. It was just kind of like I need to step back. I need to step back for me, and also need to step back to let the new generation come in. And others who want that time on the floor and they want that experience. If I feel like I'm always here and I'm always doing these events and this event, then who else is going to come? So
Yeah.
I felt like I had my time. So I just kind of, this is like right now, a misconception is you can do this forever. And maybe you can. But I feel like if we're going to make this the best that it can be, we have to allow ourselves to kind of fall back a little bit and let the new kids come in, let the new people come in and let them share in their experience. We getting comments. Ah, love you too, Keisha. There
Keisha.
she is. So girl. There you go. There you go. Of course, of course. And so yeah, I just feel like at some point we have to humble ourselves and just say, okay, I've had my time, I've had my fun, and not that I won't ever come back, but right now I'm letting everybody else just enjoy themselves on
And
the floor as well.
now I love what you're saying because we're seeing a lot of snobs. I
Mm,
will say it. We are
mm,
seeing a lot of snobs that I know it all, move on the side, and I will do whatever you cannot do. I
mm-hmm.
will say it here if you don't want to say it. And you being in the industry from when you were 13 years old, stepping out to learn, it teaches everybody today something to be humble, to check themselves before checking everybody else. So I
Yeah,
applaud you for what you're saying. And
I appreciate that. I
hats
mean, the
down.
reality is I still got a little bit of an ego. I mean, those two, it
We
is
all
what it
do.
is.
We
And
all
those
do.
who, and the people who are closest to me, my left and my right, will tell you that me and my ego can't fit in the car at the same time. It's just, we're just, one of us got to go. We're just too big.
And that's
But
fine.
yeah, but I also realized that, and someone had to kind of move aside to let me in. Someone
Yeah.
had to take the time to invest in me and then back up and let me practice what I've learned and display. And so I have to do the same thing. And so every now and then I'll pop up at a class or I'll pop up at an event, but I don't run to the front no more. I just kind of I sit back and I sit back in the back or I sit in the corner and I'm dancing, but I'm watching. Like I'm
Of course.
appreciating what's happening here. And I just feel like that's the way to go. I'm trying to see the comments too because they're so small on my tiny little screen.
So Keisha is saying we need to bring it back. Let's show
She
today's
wants to run it
generation
back.
how it originated. I
Okay.
agree. I agree with you, Keisha, 100%. Because people nowadays, every time you spoke, you say the truth, they tell you, oh, they're bullying me. Oh, they're doing
Yeah.
this. No, we're not. No, we're not. Because
We
we've been in this industry for years, we know what we're saying. Stay humble, period. Stay humble,
yes, and we're
period.
we can't always. Sometimes the message that we give it might be a little harsh, or it might feel like it's harsh, but it's in love. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'll go back to Shab. I'll go back to Shabadoo for a minute. one of the first scoldings I got from him was probably our third time meeting in New York. This is our third time actually meeting. And I said, I said, hey, just out of curiosity, I was very young. I said, what do you think of me? He's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
It was almost like, you ever see the movie, I'm sorry, you ever read the play or seen the movie Fences? When the dad is talking to the son, and the son is like, why don't you love me, or whatever.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments. And I'm like, so what do you think of me? And he looked me in the eyes and he said, I think you're a belligerent little weak ass. And I said,
Oh,
oh. There it
excuse.
is. Excuse me. Sorry. And at first I thought it was a joke because he started giggling, but then I realized he was extremely serious. And it's
Yeah.
because, yeah, and it was because as I learned years from there, he was trying to train me to not be so sensitive, to
Yes.
not be, you got to have thick skin in this business. You
Right.
can't take everything personally. Somebody goes like this and they leave your class. You can't melt to pieces. You
Yes.
don't know why they're leaving. They're probably leaving because they genuinely have to go somewhere. Yeah, or they might be leaving because they don't like your class. But either way, you can't like you can't fall to shame and cry. If someone gives you some criticism saying they don't like your performance or they don't like you, like you can't hop on the internet and spill all of your frustrations all the time. You
Yes.
have to like
Thank you.
you have to learn how to you got to take the good with the bad. Then in the same play, they say you got to take the crookeds with the straights, and what that means is it's going to come at you at every angle. Good compliments, bad criticism, neutrality, people ignoring you completely. You have to be able to take all of that and still continue to keep going. And
I love that.
if yeah, and then if anything, you take all the information that you get, even if it's meant disrespectfully, you have to take it and say, what am I learning what am I learning from this? What is this teaching me? What can I take? They say they don't like my aura, they don't like my presence. Well, what is it about my presence? And without falling into pieces, I have to have an honest conversation with myself. Am I coming in too hot? Am I coming in too cocky? Am I coming in like a know-it-all? Am I running in front of people to try to take the spotlight? And if that's the case, I probably need to settle down a little bit and just find out what it is, not to please everyone, but to better myself.
I love that. Great interview. Danell Maurice is such a trendsetter while humble, committed to his craft. I agree 100%, Grace. I agree 100%. Let's move and talk a little bit about how do you balance both a performer and a creator? Because you are both. How do you balance both of these roles?
um, David Mann and Pamela Mann, Grace and I interviewed
Yes.
many years ago when we had our own show. And David said,
You
in,
had a
in,
show
in
too? Like,
yeah, we had a show back in
I didn't know that.
2014, 2015. Yeah, we had a few years run on it, and I think our schedules just kind of got a little crazy. We never ended on bad terms. It was just kind of like it's a commitment thing. Like, are we going to
Yes.
do this? Balance, right? Are we
Yes,
going to do this? Are we
balance.
going
I
to do that?
agree.
So, but his answer to me was, there is no balance.
Yeah.
It's you have to embrace it all. If I try to be one or if I try to be the other, I'm not nurturing like I should. So I create in the mindset of a performer, and I
Yeah.
perform in the mindset of a creator. Anything I do, I'm trying to think about, what are people seeing, what are people going to experience for what it is. And I try to say that even though we do, like, I'm calling my family and I do a lot of seemingly spontaneous things. Please know that most of it, as we've grown over the past few years, most of it is carefully thought out. We
Yes.
want you to look this way when we go that way. We want you to go that way. And so when you see us run to the back of the room, that's not spontaneous. That's on purpose, because we want you to follow us. We want to take you on a journey. And so when I'm creating something, I'm thinking about these things. How are people going to react when I jump over here to the left? Are they going to follow me? They're going to ignore me completely. When I make this face, if I stop the music, or if I stop dancing in the middle of a routine and I just sit there and take it in, how are people going to react with that? Are they going to be with me? Are they going to be with the moment? Or are they going to get bored? And so in
Yeah.
many cases, we try to carefully walk those things out. And in many cases, we just remember what works. And whatever works, that's, we may replicate it. We try to replicate that moment. So yeah, but
True.
anyway, to answer your question, I don't think it's one or the other. I think it has to be both.
I love that. So James is saying that he love your vibe. Just letting you know. I know
Thank you,
that you
James. I
cannot see
appreciate that.
everything,
Yeah,
but
it's not
yeah,
it's not anything. It's I'm working from my tiny little phone here, and so like I
I
can't. The
know,
comments
and
pop
I
up, and
love
I'm like,
James.
"Thank you,
He's
James. I
following
appreciate
me
that.
from two, yeah, from both sides of the podcast. So he was on Wednesday and he's on tonight as well. So shout out to James.
Thank you,
Um,
James. I
so
appreciate that."
I want to ask about a play, that a role that you played on stage that changed you. But first,
Ooh,
I wanna put myself into this because
go for it.
you asked me to have a role with you at some
I
point,
did.
and my accident happened and I couldn't do it.
Yes, that was
And
that
I
was
felt
awful.
so bad about it because I had a broken arm and then
Yeah,
hell came after. But I was so proud of the stuff that you did because I was there pre you being on stage, and
thank
then
you.
you
And
went on that stage and you made it, like you made it happen.
we
and
try,
that
we try.
role and that role was talking about your life, right?
Yes.
So you were doing something about you. So what was that role and how did it change you?
So the play originally slated was called Lip Sync,
Yes.
and Lip Sync was it's not a biopic, so to speak, but it's loosely based off of my life and some other very important men in my life. And
Yes.
so out of these different events in all of our lives, I created a character that you now know as Danell. So if
Yes.
anybody wants to know where Danell came from, Danell is actually the original pronunciation of my middle name. It's spelled
Nice.
Danielle, but it's pronounced Danell. And
Done.
so for this particular play, Danelle is the character, and it's based off of some, like I said, based off of some very important events. So Miss Carla here um, was offered a role of a very, very significant time in my life, and I won't get into too many details of it right now. I'll
Yeah.
just say it was a very turning point in my life where it was based on a very, very inappropriate relationship. And it essentially addressed me being with a significantly older woman while I was still a teenager. And so we had to tap into some very, very, very sensitive moments, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. I had to address. I felt like I had to address some things, and not just to put my stuff all over on the table, but it was just kind of it's really just to kind of say that men go through it too. A lot of times we talk about what women may go through, but no one ever really talks about that sometimes men, we go through it too. The play deals with issues like my elders, my elders in the play going through things like dementia, Alzheimer's. It
Yes.
deals with abandonment. It deals with neglect and abuse. It deals with substance abuse. Though I can say, thankfully, I've never really dealt with substance abuse per se. It was kind of a shout out to some of the people who are close to me who have done that. And yeah, so coming back to Carla for a minute. So yeah, we talked about Carla playing the woman that particular relationship, and then yeah,
Yeah.
and then I get a message from Carla, and she's like, "I've been in the I was like, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had no idea how serious it was. And then when
It was so
you let me
bad.
into how
Yeah,
serious it was, I tanked. My heart absolutely fell. And
of course.
honestly, yeah, and I totally understood it, but Yeah, there's your secret. There's
I
your secret,
felt
Carla.
so bad. I felt so bad because, like, I loved what you were putting in, and I wanted to be part of that story
Yeah.
because that story is about you, and I wanted to be, I wanted to see how it's gonna go. And I broke my neck and I broke my arm, and it was so
Yeah,
bad that I
it
couldn't
was
be
so
there.
awful. I just remember you
But
killing that audition. I remember you absolutely killing that audition. I was like, yeah, I see
thank
this.
you.
I see this. I
Maybe one
see
day,
this.
maybe one day.
There, hey, yeah, so there has been talks about maybe bringing it back, but I
Nice.
feel like yeah, we did like a quick after that. So after that, we brought it back for a live kind of like stage reading, if you will. We did that at U Heart
Yes.
for a little bit,
I love
and
your
then we
heart.
put it. Yeah, that was my old school, my old school.
Yes.
But I brought it. We brought it back for a short time after that, and then we just kind of stopped for a minute because I felt like I do want to bring it back, but it has to be the right way. I don't want to, again, I don't want to force
I
anything.
agree.
It has to
I agree.
flow. It has to feel good. But we have, me and my family, me and my team have talked about how
Yeah.
would it look if we bring it back and where would it go? And funny story is that actually the first time we did that was for my 40th birthday. So the original production was for my 40th birthday celebration. And I felt like that was a good time to do it. And that's why it worked so well. And after that, we got offers to do it at different venues, locally and even out in New York. And then COVID. COVID
COVID
is what
hit.
COVID
Yeah,
is what stopped the production.
I
And so
remember that.
it was heartbreaking. And so yeah, but anyway, all that to say that I look for it hopefully soon. We it's been on the our vision board, and so I definitely look to bring
Nice.
it back. But again, it has to be the right way. It has to feel
I
good.
love that. I love that you started something that you really wanted everybody to know about because men don't speak up. And you are speaking up and you are showing the world that men go through a lot as well. And you need to put yourself out
Hmm.
there. And this is why I loved what you were doing.
Thank you.
And to start something and then go back to school for it,
Hmm.
Danelle, that was such an amazing thing too. And you went to school, and I want you
Hmm.
to tell that story. And then you are waiting for a movie to come out on March 13, if I'm not mistaken. So can you
So
tell
yeah,
us about all of this?
sure. We'll work backwards. So Dark Places is my newest film.
Yes,
I'm not. I'm one of the producers for the film, and I have a little small role in it. I'll say, and
I
it's
saw
actually
you.
you saw me in there somewhere. You found me in there.
I watched
Um,
the movie yesterday.
and you're still here to talk about it. I love it.
Yes.
So it's so our big screen premiere is March 14th, and it'll be at Agawam Family Cinemas. And so it's not everywhere. It's not everywhere. I don't want to I don't want to hype it up, right? But it is a chance to see some of your favorite people, hopefully, on the big screen, which is what I definitely appreciate. A lot of this generation, we're taking risks, we're not
Yes,
apologizing, and we're making these projects and we're putting it out there for the world to see. And good, bad, or indifferent, here's what we have, and I want you to enjoy it. And that's what I think the mentality is now. And so Dark Places, and this is a little bit of a spoiler, was actually early release to the surprise of many of us. It's on Tubi and Fossum right now as we speak. And honestly, I don't think anybody really knew. We all just kind of like found out at the same time on the internet. Like we were all ready for this big, big, big screen premiere. And the next thing you know, we see a video saying Dark Places is out now on Tubi and
oh,
out on Fossum. And we're like, I thought it was a prank. Like I thought somebody
yeah.
was trying to pull our leg, but no, it's really out there. So I posted a few photos and video of it. So it's I think it's always cool to be able to see yourself in some finished product. And so
Agree.
to work backwards, I went back to school for this very reason. Uh, uh, so when I was younger, I was in school, and again, I'm young and I'm dumb, and I'm priorities were not particularly there. So I was good in school, but I wasn't good in school, if that makes sense. I'll say it one time. I was good in school when I was there, but mentally I was not good in school. So I wound up just kind of breaking away. And then I tried to go back again, and I felt like I had a little bit more of a head on my shoulders. And then I had my firstborn, and trying to be a man, I'm like, okay, well, it has to be one or the other. I can't do both. I have to provide for him, or I can go to school. So I put down school again. So finally, a biological son and two beautiful, I don't like to call them stepchildren. They're not my stepchildren, they're my children. But, three children later, I feel like I can go back. And so I went back to UHeart and I went for cinema. And I think I did pretty well. 2 consecutive years on the president's and dean's list. And I have now transferred to LA Film School. There, it's online for me because I'm over here, but I still visit the campus whenever I can. So I'm kind of both. And again, just like we said, trying to be a student, right? Trying to learn, trying to keep up with the information, because what I think I know is not going to be enough. So I plan on being a student for as long as I possibly can. And even when I feel like I have made it, I see myself on TV, and now I get to see myself on the big screen. I'm still going to go back, and I'm still going to keep up with the information, because I feel like you can never really learn enough.
I love that. I love education myself, and you know me really well. And I am
Yes,
in school.
absolutely.
I am in school too, trying to finish my PhD. So
Yes,
I
yes, yes, yes.
applaud you for that. I do applaud you for
I'm
that.
proud of your PhD,
Yeah,
Dr. Carla.
yes,
Dr.
I
Carla.
will. I will.
Dr. Carla.
I will. I would love to
Looking
be
forward to
Dr.
that.
Carla at some point, 100%.
Definitely
So
looking forward to that.
let's talk about the challenges that that you encounter doing the film Dark Places. So when I was watching it
Whew.
yesterday, I don't want to spoil everything, but
Uh-huh.
I saw something like fishy at the beginning of the story, and I'm like, I think I know how it's gonna end, and then you know it turned
Yeah.
out there's
It's
something at the end that will make you like, okay, nope,
there
I
there
didn't
are
think about it.
there
So
are
tell me,
swerves left and right in this movie.
yes,
There are
tell me the challenges,
every time you think you got it figured out, you don't.
right?
Shout
Yeah,
out to Gino. Shout out to Gino McGahee. He is just first of all, he's an amazing person. He's just a
yes,
great person. I'm gonna come back to that in a minute, 'cause it's very important to know. And he has a great vision in terms of what he wants in his product. So this is his baby. This is his written and directed baby. Ex Posse Productions, Cineridge Entertainment. Shout out Cinema Epoch, all of you. Thank y'all for the opportunity to be a part of this. So again, without spoiling it, this movie, and I'll just be as real as possible. This movie is about a young girl who comes face to face with a satanic cult. So that
yes,
was my biggest problem already. That was my
yeah,
biggest challenge already, because I am a hardcore believer. Okay.
yes.
And yeah,
Me
I'm
too.
I'm a believer. And so to have to do a movie about a satanic cult was like, and let me change that word. I didn't have to do it. I didn't have to do it.
You
I
don't,
was
yeah, I
offered
agree.
I was offered a role, and I agreed to it. So let me just be straight up about that. And so one of the biggest challenges was obviously my belief, my core belief, right?
Yes,
Having to say certain things and be involved in certain things that go against my belief. And I think what helped get me through it was not just only my faith, but also a straight up face to face, man to man conversation with Gino that said, "Listen, like a lot of this goes against what I believe. Are you okay with me doing X, Y, Z, and still, play the part that I'm playing?" And he was
yeah,
so cool about it. He was just so, yeah, dude, whatever you need to do. Like he completely put the ball in my court, and we would just every single time he checked in with me, made sure I was good. I'd let him know I was good, and if there was anything I didn't, I felt like there was very few things I felt like I couldn't do, and I would tell him up front. I say, I don't know if I can do this, and he was like, "Nope, it's all good. It's all good. Just if you don't feel like you can do it, don't, and we'll figure something out." And so I think that's what helped me get through this particular challenge for this movie. It was just the open transparency of being able to say, "Hey,
it.
Hey, that's a little heavy for me. I don't know if I can go
Yeah.
that far, or I don't know if I could be part of that particular scene or whatever the case was. And no, he was just very warm, very embraced. So shout out to Gino. I would easily recommend anyone to work with him. He's just a great person, great director.
I love that. I love that you're having shout outs for everybody working with you as well,
You
Danelle.
got to, you
Uh,
got to, you have
yes,
to. I feel like when you're doing things like that, you're not doing them. And I'm gonna come back to this because it's almost gonna sound like double talk, right? I feel like you're
yeah,
not doing it by yourself. And
I agree.
the reason I say like it's gonna be double talk because we may get into a point where I'm going to say that my mentor Shab would always tell me success is a solo journey, and for a long time I struggled with that. But what I realized what he was saying is no matter, again, going back to, no matter what you do, it is your decision to do it. And that's what he meant to them. He's like, you're going to be accountable for yourself. You are accountable for your actions. It's your choice to do something or not. And so that's why it almost seems like double talk, but it starts to make sense now because no one forced me to take that role. No one forced me to be part of this film. I chose it. I was offered it and I chose it. And so that's where we talk about being a solo journey. It's my decision. But at the same time, you also are always going to have people who are there for you and who help you along the way. And it is important to make sure that you acknowledge them. Shout out to the family. Shout out to the crew. You know who you are. Grace, of course, and Michelle, Lorraine. You know who y'all are. Adriana, all y'all. Karen, Inez.
I I loved everybody. I loved everybody. Not
Yes.
because I know you the most, but you were one of my preferable actors in that movie. Like
Thank you.
you went there to do your job. Like
Thank
seriously.
you.
So I
Thank you.
loved what you did, and I
Thank you
applaud
so
for
much.
everybody for that movie because it was really nice to watch and to see what's gonna happen next because it was an
Yes.
eye opener. Honestly, it's an
It
eye
is.
opener because it was a mix of everything. Like they put a lot of different people to say. I don't want to spoil it, but they put, if
Yeah.
you keep your eyes open, you can see different people from different places, from different like stuff. So it's
So
it's
my
really,
my
yeah,
character Dwight, and if you see some of my posts, I use this very purposely. My character Dwight says something that's very, it pretty much describes the whole film in a sentence. He
yes,
says, "This is a blood cult that's comprised of everyday people in all walks of life." And I thought that
yes,
was definitely one thing that this film portrayed very well is you see all different kind of people. And
true.
you don't know what's happening with these people, but you start to realize that many of them have another place, like dark place. They have another dark place that they can go to, another thing that crosses their mind. And you start to realize that people have truths about them that kind of come out one way or the other. And in this film, you definitely see that, no
Yes,
matter what you thought you knew about a person, you don't,
you don't know.
so
You don't
yeah,
know. I
you
agree.
just don't know.
Especially, I know that we're gonna talk about autism as well. You like they
Yes,
had someone with autism as well in that movie, just to put the light on some of the people. And I love that. And people who
yes,
know, like
yes,
let's keep it there.
yes,
What's
yes.
a behind the scene moment you will never forget?
Oh, very good question. What's the behind the scene moment that I will never forget for this particular film?
Yeah.
Ugh. I remember, oh, so many I could think of, but I remember one specifically. It is going to sound funny. Uh, Keeping a fire going. And if you watch the film,
Yes.
if you watch the film, that's a real fire. That is not a,
Yes. I
that is
Yeah, you
not,
can see it. I agree.
that is, that is not CGI. That is not, it's not even, honestly, it wasn't even, it was contained the best it could be. And so this fire would get bigger and bigger and bigger. And so
Oh my God.
we we were responsible for and the safety and the maintenance of this fire. So we had to keep it at a certain level. It couldn't get too small, but it certainly couldn't get too big. And there were moments where it felt like this fire was shooting out everywhere. And so all of us would drop whatever we were doing. I'm talking about the camera grip people, the light people, the actors, the director, people who are just kind of hanging out and watching. We're all just running around trying to keep this fire contained, and nobody wanted to get too
Right.
close to it. Nobody wanted to get near it. Nobody wanted to get too close to it. So it almost became a running gag within itself.
Oh
But
my
then
God.
it got, but then it got super cold, and in the night it got super cold, and then the same people who was running from this fire are all huddled around it, and so we're supposed to be filming, but nobody wants to move because
Oh my
it's too cold, and this fire is the only thing that's keeping us at bay. It's the only thing that's kind of keeping us outside at the moment. So it became, either way, it became trying to keep the fire in check or stay near it. And it was probably one of the, for me, it was probably one of the longest film days that we had, because instead of filming, we are we're
Taking
just
care of the
gathered,
fire.
we're all gathered around this fire trying to figure out and make sure that it was what it needed. So it might, it's kind of a silly story to tell, but at that moment it was very, very, looking back at it, it was very funny. It was very funny because I felt like,
It is.
yeah, it was like we had so much to do, but it really just became about this one little space
Yes.
that everyone needed to make sure was okay. So that was cool.
These
But
are
I mean,
memorable moments. Yeah.
yeah, we had so many memorable moments. Just I think the cast in general is just they're very close, and even if you're like a first timer, we you're always welcomed, and you're brought in with so much love, and there's so much support from everyone. Everyone makes sure that they're good. Shout out to X Posse again, because they really take you in, and they give you a space, and they let you take up all the space that you need to take up. And I think that's why, if you watch a lot of the films, you see a lot of the same people in the films, because it's just kind of like, this is who you want. Like, this is who you want to work with. You want to work with these people. They listen and they care. They take care of you, and they give you your space to shine, and they're always available to help and answer questions. And so, yeah, so it's good to have a group like that. And so I definitely enjoy working with them.
Agree. Agree. So from film to autism, what
Ah,
inspired your commitment to autism advocacy?
my children. It's easy. My children. My boys. You know, you as a parent, you have to be your first voice for your children. And so, and I mean that figuratively and literally. You have to be the voice for them sometimes, and you have to advocate for them. You have to fight the school system sometimes if they don't want to cooperate. You have to fight the doctors who want to misdiagnose. You have to fight your own family and community sometimes, who think they, know what's better for your children than you do. And so it starts at home, so that's where it came from. And I think from there, it just kind of spawned into, our boys need this, but, there's other people out there that need this, so uh, Grace and I, we started our first real advocacy initiative, AMP, Autism Multicultural Program, just because our kids needed something to do. We wanted to take our youngest son specifically to a movie theater, and it just didn't work well for him. It was too loud, it was too noisy, it was too crowded. And so we looked at each other and basically said, actually, let me be specific. She said, how do we do this? How do we do this for others? How do we, because there's so many other families that, want to be able to take their kids somewhere, and they can't. They have to find a sitter because, you have a family, and, someone in the family has special needs, and they may not be able to accommodate. And so we basically said, well, our son needs the same thing. So what do? We speak up. So it started with partnering with Cinemark many years back. I used to be a manager over at Cinemark, and so I just went to the heads of the company and said, hey, listen, my wife and I have an idea. Ran it by them. We said, we want to start movies for, people with special needs, sensory friendly movies. And that's where it
Yes.
started. And that's where it started. So we would invite all of our community friends in, and, we raised the lights a little bit. We lowered the sound a little bit, and it was really exclusively for them. So they had a place where they can be themselves, where, if they if they want to make a sound, if they want to get up and walk around there, they'll be kept safe and they won't be judged. Because, you go to a movie theater and it is what it is. You go, you pay your ticket. You don't want somebody walking by you in the aisle and, making noise and stuff like that. You came to have a good experience, right? But the
Yeah.
flip side of that is we don't know what that person's challenge or restrictions may be. And so it started with movies, just having movies exclusively for them. And then from there, we expanded into uh, other activities. We have like Family Day, where we're bringing there's different games, sensory friendly games and activities and recreation for them to do. Um, so we did that for a while, and then Grace took her vision and evolved it. So AMP became SOAR, Spectrum Opportunities, Activities, and Recreation. And we these different initiatives are meant to connect resources with people in the community who need them, and just going and talking to forums and inviting people to come in and just literally physically connecting people. We know this family who has a daughter who, she feels like the family feels like she's kind of kept away from, family activities. Is there anything that we can do that would be something that will fit in with her, so she's not always being left behind or left with a babysitter or another family member? So that's what we literally would do. We connect these people, and making sure that they have equal opportunities as well, making sure that they are able to be seen and be, have company, not be left behind. And so, shout out to Jangris School, who was very much a very, very big, played a pivotal role in that, allowing us to come and, speak on some of our kids' behalf, and they would come and support us as well. Uh, yeah, it's just, I think with anything, it starts with a need,
Yes.
identifying the need and being honest about the need, and then deciding to do something about it. So for us, it started at home, and then we took what we needed at home and we said, we sure there's other families that need this. We sure there are other families that, have this same dilemma. So we tried to open up the doors for them as well.
What's something people misunderstand about autism?
I think people think it's a doom sentence. I've literally heard people say, "Oh, that's a doom sentence." Like, "Oh my God," and they feel sorry for you all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I think parents with or family members with someone who have special needs in their family, we don't need you feeling sorry for us. We don't feel sorry for ourselves. I mean, yeah, we have our own list of challenges, but we're not walking around moping all the time. No, we love this person, and we're going to do the best that we can to support and give them what they need. So,
Agree.
we don't need your sympathy. We need your empathy. Sympathy for me is more just, it's a sorrow feeling. I don't need your sympathy. What we need is your understanding. I think what we need is tolerance, patience. There's a lot of sleepless nights sometimes that comes with
Yeah.
being, a parent of any child, much more rather a child with autism. So, what we need is a little bit of patience sometimes, a little bit of tolerance and some understanding. We don't need your sorrow and your tears per se. And that's appreciate you feeling that way, but it's not helpful. We need productivity. We need something that's going to help move in the right direction. We need connection. Who do you know that can help provide some services for our child who may, because especially now, let's just say it, and especially now with this administration, you don't know what's getting cut. And so we need some backing. Like, what can we do to connect what is missing with what is needed and who has it? And we try to do that for others. And so I think that's what parents really, really need more than anything.
I love that you're saying that because when I first knew that my youngest boy had autism, someone told me that he's the devil child. That's
Yeah,
what
like,
I heard from people, which is not okay, which is not
it's
true.
not.
And they are our kids, and God love us that much to give us
Yes.
a child on the spectrum because He knows that we have the heart for it to take
Hmm.
care of them the way we need to take care of them.
Exactly.
And like my son, he's 17 right now, and he's going to college next year. He's graduating this year, and he's going to college.
Congratulations.
And because
I like
of
that.
like parents like us who wants to see them strive, who wants to see
Yes.
them going into places. And that's why we do what we do. And I'm so
Yes.
proud that we
Congratulations.
have this
Congratulations to you, Mom.
community. Yeah, congratulations to us, because
Yes.
like this community deserves spotlight, and what you and Grace are doing is something that, you're giving voice to every single child on the
Thank you.
spectrum.
Thank
And
you.
your advocacy, it's so important. It's so important, especially in our society right now.
Yes.
So I cannot thank you enough for speaking up for that.
Thank you.
I want you to tell people like where they can connect with you and Grace if they need help, because there's so much, a lot of people out there, they don't know how to navigate autism yet. Because if they are anything like me, I was told, your son have autism, you can
Hmm.
do it. That's the only thing I was told.
Yeah.
So how they can reach out to you guys so they can find the help needed.
I think social media is the best way, to be honest. So obviously Facebook, Instagram, because we check our messages often. So I think that's the best way. We do have phone numbers and emails and stuff like that. But if you want to get us quicker, because I try to be purposeful, I can give you a nice
Yes.
big fancy email. But I rather if you want to get us quickly, get us on Facebook. On Facebook for me it's Danell Reese. So you probably won't find me under Maurice Clark. Actually, Maurice Clark, you'll find my son Junior. But
Yeah.
and Grace, Grace is on Grace Clark. Just hit us, go right to our inbox, shoot your questions, and we typically get back to you within no more than like 24 hours. So and actually sometimes even closer than that, usually like 12 hours, or even sometimes with me it's usually like an hour or two. So just get back, hit us up, hit us up very directly, be very clear with what you need. And I promise you, we tend to go right at it. If it's a legit concern, and it's a real need, we do our best to go right at it. So I think, yeah, social media again is the best way.
What's a project you would love to create that merges art and advocacy together for autism?
Ooh, so I'm actually working on something now as we speak.
We're
I
gonna
have
hear it
a.
the first time on here. Let's go.
You're going to hear it, yes, because trust me, anyone else who knows about this project has signed a non-disclosure agreement. Okay, so
Oh,
they're not supposed to talk about it, but I'll say it now. Our projected date is summer of 2027, and I have a written screenplay that we are looking to get on camera next summer, and it's called Justice for Mason. And it is without telling the whole thing, it is a movie about social justice, and it is a movie about fatherhood, specifically being a father of a young man with autism. And that's all I'm giving you. That's all I'm giving you for now. That's all I can say for now, because
but
I
you
just think,
heard
don't.
it here first.
You heard it here. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. So
Yeah,
we are in the development stage. In another couple months, we'll be in the pre-production stage. Hopefully,
nice.
we've already shopped the script around. We did like an internal read. I've actually presented some of it in a venue at the QED in New York, and we'll do it again in a few months in the Broadway area. I can't say much more than that right now, and in June. So we're going to be there again, and then yeah, hopefully then by June of 2027, I hope to get the cameras rolling.
Wow. I'm
So
so
yes,
happy for that project.
thank you,
So happy.
thank
I
you,
cannot
thank you.
wait to hear more about it, Danelle.
Absolutely, you definitely will.
That's
I'll definitely keep you up to
awesome.
date as everything is happening. Yes,
That's awesome. Let's
appreciate
talk a
that.
little bit about your Zumba journey.
Ooh.
What led you into the fitness world back in 2008?
2008. I was firmly into teaching and choreographing, mostly hip hop, African dance hall. I was doing ballroom, and someone I forgot, honestly, I forgot who. Someone asked me if there was a class a little easier. So, believe it or not, I came up with a theory of, you know what? Yeah, I think there is. Let's figure this out. Give me a month. Give me a month to really just kind of sit down and draw this out. And so I
Yeah.
came up with what I thought was my idea. Well, it wasn't my idea, but anyway, it was it was an idea of I'm going to do a bunch of different songs, and I'll do 4 or 5 steps each song. This is back in 2007. I had no idea what Zumba was. I nothing. This is just something
Yeah.
I thought I was doing on my own. And
Yes.
so in 2008, the first dance fitness class I taught was at the YMCA of Springfield. Shout out to Lisette Feliciano. She orchestrated that. She administered that. Um, and I was doing that for a little while. Then I went over to LA Fitness and I went over to Gold's Gym and I shopped it around. It started to get some traction. And then someone said, "Have you ever taken Zumba?" And my reaction, candidly, was, "What the hell is that? Like, what? Oh, what is that?"
I can see you saying that, honestly.
it's like, that's my face. If you know me, this is my
Yes.
face. Like, what? The hell is that? Oh, Zumba. It sounded weird. And so, and then they started to describe what the class was like, and I'm like, I'm doing that already. Why do I need to?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. And again, this is just yeah, what? And so,
Yeah.
but then I went out of curiosity. I went to a Zumba class, and I'll be honest, I didn't like it. I didn't
No?
like it. I was like, no, I didn't. I said, I'm not doing this. I was like, I would just be real. I was like, I'm not doing this. Oh God, no. But I would later find out that the class I went to, and I'm not going to put the person on the spot.
I
Um,
know.
they at least at that
They
time
didn't know what they're doing.
they didn't have it. They didn't. It was what it is. They didn't have it. But hey, but again, first impressions are everything, right? And so
I
like
agree.
my first impression with Zumba was hell no. Like I'm not changing up what I'm doing. What I'm doing is good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm not doing that. But then I was actually introduced to Tanya Beersley, and I went to her class by invitation. I went to her class, an event that she was having, and that was the first time I actually really saw what Zumba was. And I was like,
Game changer.
okay, yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I think I can rock with this. I like this. And then shortly after meeting and dancing with Tanya, I was introduced to. I heard about her, but I never met her. But then I was introduced to Sister Anyango, and I went to some of her classes, and she and I had a very candid conversation. I said, I'm considering this, but I don't want to change who I am. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
change who I am. Like I know there's a format, and I'll follow the format. But and Sister said that you don't have to change who you are. I mean, yeah, it's a format, but you don't have to change who you are. And I think that one line was probably the reason I decided her and that line, and then also meeting and talking with Tanya was probably the reason I went and tried it. And so I took a few more classes just to kind of see, and then finally I decided to get certified for myself in 2011. So 2008, my first cardio dance class, if you want to call it that, and then
Yes.
2011, finally getting certified with Tony Witt and Ansaldi. And
I love
and yeah,
him.
it just and
Yes.
I just I went from there, and I just went from there. And, actually I had the privilege of being able to teach at Ansaldi's studio a couple times,
Nice.
and yeah, yeah, just from there, just trying to build my name, build my brand, and I've take your risks. Do try to be true to the format. Take some risks. I definitely broke some eggs and made some bad choices. We all do, right?
I know.
But
We all do.
yeah. Insubordination is not. It was not a created name. It was a name that was given. Okay, it was absolutely given. I got in some big trouble. I used to get in some trouble back then. Oof.
Oh my
2012.
God.
I got in some trouble. I literally got. That's how the name came about. I was
Really?
at it. Oh yeah, I was working at a particular gym, and
Shout out to Tanya.
my work my my work had it was a little edgy, especially when I was younger. You think I'm bad now? It was worse then. Oh my God, I had
I
no
know.
filter then. I had absolutely no filter, and I got written up. I got a written warning, and the director of the fitness program then said, if you do it again, you're going to get written up for insubordination.
Oh my
And
God.
that's where the name came from. Like and I told everybody, I was like, they're threatening to write me up. They're calling me
Yes.
insubordinate. And somebody said, well, that's what we are. We're a team insubordinate. And then
Oh my God.
and
I
they
love
li-
that you use
and
that for your own
and these
benefit.
ladies showed up. We did an event. I appeared at an event in Springfield, and these ladies showed up to the event, and they didn't tell me they were doing this. And they had shirts that said "Team Insubordinate," and they're like, "Okay,
Oh
I
my
guess
God.
I think this is official. Like we're
Yes.
really going somewhere with this." And then from there, we just said, you know what? Let's just go it. They calling us insubordination. That's who we're going to give them. And I think that's probably the definition of my journey. What's that say? Hey, how you doing,
I
Abby?
love
Love you too,
you.
girl.
Abby.
Love you too, girl.
So Abby is here too, and Chelsea, she's saying hello, hello. That's so exciting from Instagram. So
Nice.
just to let
Thank
you
you.
know.
Thank you. Thank you,
So
girls. I
there's a
appreciate
lot of
that.
people going everywhere for you,
Love
Danelle.
y'all. Thank y'all
That's
so much for supporting it. Yeah, that's where
yeah,
it came from. That's where insubordination came from.
I
It was
love
very
it.
it was organic. It was built off of many people would say that it was built off of rebellion, but really wasn't built off of rebellion. It was built off of, I think, I'm gonna say living our truth and being who we are,
You
regardless
know,
of
you know, I love
regardless of the
that.
consequence.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love
And
it because I don't know if you watch RuPaul, and RuPaul had someone in their show that
uh-huh.
had a sleuth a foot, and they use it for their own benefit. Like
Yeah.
he told them, like she told them to use it for their own benefit, and they did.
Yes.
And I love that
Yes.
you use
You
something
you got
for
you
your
got to take
own
what you have.
benefit.
Yeah,
Yes,
you got to take what you have and you got to embrace it. And again, I'm certainly not innocent. I made all kind of dumb choices, but the
we
I
all do.
can yeah, but I can say that this brand, this family has been built off of knowing who we are and
True.
embracing who we are, regardless of the consequences and regardless of the heat might that may be thrown our way. This is who I am. And if that means if I'm insubordinate because I'm not following the rules, so be it. And that's where the name came from. And from there, it just kind of took off. It just kind of took off. And then this appearance and this corporation and this company and so on and so forth. But I think it always remains the same. Like, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. And if it means that somebody it ruffles some feathers, it is what it is. It's fine.
Why not
But
ruffle some feathers?
yeah, you got to break some eggs to make an omelet, right? So it is what it is. It's
100%.
yeah.
Janelle, I want to learn more about you. It's more than an hour, but I don't want to finish what I have
It's
to
all
finish
good. It's all good. I'm
to
I'm
respect
glad to
your
come back.
time.
I'm
Yes,
glad
I
to
would
come
love
back.
to
This is
have
amazing. I
part
love talking to
two.
you anyway.
Me
This is
too.
just a conversation. This is how our conversations go anyway. So this is
Yeah,
fun.
and
Yeah.
people love and enjoy what you're talking and
Thank
what you're
you.
all about. Um, Tell me a little bit about what's the most inspiring thing that ever happened in your class when
Mm,
you were teaching?
mm, mm.
I would love
I,
to
I don't
know.
I don't I don't think I don't think it's just one thing. I think it's when you can when someone walks in the room one way and they walk out a better person. When someone can say that they were having the worst day ever, but they knew coming here is going to be the 1 hour that helps them recharge, re-energize, reset, you know make them feel
Yeah,
better about themselves. I think that's ultimately the most inspiring thing. I think when someone sees you and says, you know what, I want to be that.
yeah,
Because whatever it is that connects you to me or connects me to you, that's what I want to be. I think that's the most inspiring thing. So I don't think it's just one particular incident. I think it's in general the mindset that knowing that I'm providing a safe space and a non-judgmental space, a space of inclusion, and a space that says, "Hey, listen, here's what we're doing." And I try to say this as much as I can in any class. Here's what we're doing. But if you feel led to do something else,
yes,
if this is where you
right.
live, if you're in the back room and this is what you need, as long as you're not disrupting anyone, Do it, because that's how we came up.
Agree.
We came up by being ourselves. And so I want you to feel better than how you came. When you leave, I want you to feel better than how you came.
Yes,
And whenever that happens, that's good for me. That's all.
I
That's all. That's
agree.
all we really want.
I
Whether I
love
meet
that.
you, yeah, because you, again, first impressions, you only get one chance. And
True.
so whether it's the first time or the 11th time or the 100th time, I still want you to have the same experience when you walk in and when you walk out, feeling better about yourself, feeling better about your day.
What's a message you want your audience to remember?
There's no second chance. I mean, and what I mean by that is we only have the life that we have right now.
Yeah.
This is your chance. Do it now. Do it unapologetically. Do it without repentance. Do it to your fullest. Take risks. Be bold. Take up all the space that you can take. But then at the same time, remember to be humble enough to
Yes.
know that it's not all about you. But when it is about you, make it about you.
Agree?
It's not always about you, but when it is about you, make it about you. Take up every bit of space that you can take. Be as loud as you need to be as bright as you can be. Do things that no one is going to forget. Make mistakes. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Forgive yourself of your mistakes, and don't lean on, I'm trying to figure out the best way to say it. Don't allow yourself to get trapped in your mistakes to that they become crippling and you can't move forward.
Yes.
Take it as a lesson learned. Keep going. Take risks. Come back bigger and louder than what you were before. And it's not ever going to be you against anyone. It's always going to be you against yourself. You're the only person ever stopping yourself from doing what it is you want to do and being what it is you want to be. So whatever it is, Babyface said it last year. Go do that. Whatever it is, go do that and do it without apologizing.
100%. I agree. One more question,
Absolutely.
Danelle, before we go. What do you want people to ask you that they don't ask you?
Ooh, what do I want people to ask me?
Yeah.
I feel like the less questions I get, the better. No, if I don't think it's one particular question, but if you're going to ask me something, I want you to ask me something that's going to provide an answer that edifies. Meaning that I want you to ask me something that's going to help you grow, and ask me something that's going to challenge me to answer you in a way that's going to help you grow. Because I'm going to do my best to drop jewels or give you information that helped me. Everything you're hearing coming out of my mouth, well, most of what you're hearing that's coming out of my mouth was given to me by somebody else. And then I had to take it and discard it and deny it and learn the hard way and then come back and say, you know what, they were right. So I want you to challenge me to do the same thing to you. Ask me for something that's going to help you grow. Ask me for something that's not void or stagnant. Make me give you something that's going to push you into forward motion. That's what I like. I want to give you something that's, when you see me again, you're going to say, you know what, Reese, you sounded crazy when you said it. But then I thought about it and then I tried it. You know what? It worked
You're
and
right.
I'm
Yeah.
better for it. That's what I want you to ask me. Ask me something that's going to make me edify you.
I love that. Reese, I don't want to let you go, but
You're never
I
letting me
cannot
go.
thank you. I
We
know.
never
I
let each other
couldn't
go.
thank you
Yes.
for tonight. I'm
I love you
serious.
so much and I appreciate you. Like I said, these are just our conversations anyway. So
Yes, I
yeah,
love you so
it's
much
easy.
too.
It's easy.
So much respect for you, and I follow your journey every step. and everything that you're doing. And I'm
Thank you.
so proud of where you started and what you've becoming. And
Thank you
I
so much,
cannot
Carla.
wait for what's next in your
And Dr.
life.
Carla, I appreciate you, but I'm going to give you your flowers, Dr. Carla. I'm going to keep speaking it out. I love what you're doing, and I love that not physically, not mentally, nothing can hold you down. And I love that again, you're back and you're louder and you're taking up even more space than ever. So kudos to you as well.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that
Absolutely.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you
So
as well.
I want, before I wrap up, I want
Uh-huh.
our audience to know where they can connect with you, your classes, your socials, upcoming events.
Hmm.
Please remind them again about the movie, where they can
Yes.
watch it, and the times. I want everybody to follow your journey
Thank
and
you.
keep the
Thank
rhythm
you.
alive.
So the majority of my films right now are streaming on Tubi. So I think I got like 5 films on Tubi. Dark Places is wait, Scary Tales, Scary Tales. Yeah, so I got 6 movies on Tubi right now. The most recent one is Dark Places. You can also find us on Fossum and Amazon Prime. You see some of my work there. Um, but if you want to dance with me, take it back to the roots that started it all. Right now, I'm at Star Hill Family Center in Thailand. I teach publicly. Excuse me. I'm a personal trainer there. I also teach self defense. But if you want to dance with me, we do Thursday nights at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 10:30 a.m. And if you want to come, just hit me up and you can be my guest. I'm always happy to count people their experience. Just to give you a place to escape for an hour. Feel free. And if dancing for some reason is not your thing, I appreciate you logging into this podcast, even though this is we're dancers here. But also teach hit on Monday nights at 6 p.m. and starting this coming Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. I'll be offering self defense for the public as well. So I
I
hope you'll be
love
able to
that.
come. Yes.
Thank you so
So
much for sharing all of this, Reese.
thank you so much, Carla.
From music to movement, from sneakers to stories, you showed up, you shared, and you reminded us of what this community is all about: heart, creativity, and love without limits. If you vibe with us tonight, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment about your favorite moment. Until next time, keep shining your light, keep lifting each other, and keep dancing like nobody's watching while inspiring everybody who is. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Good
Bye.
night, y'all.